Wake up, rise up, Mell, be on the line. News, weather, truth, she delivers on time. Affirm your power, let the doubt unwind. Kickstart your soul, let your purpose shine. She don't just talk, she spark the flame from 7 to 8. She runs the game, Jamaica to New Orleans and all the world. The vibe don't sleep. Mell B drop gems while the world counts sheep. No fluff, no cap, just facts and fire. Affirmation flow that lifts you higher. Wake up, rise up, Mell B on the line. News, weather, truth, she delivers on time. Affirm your power.
Grand Rising, my beautiful kings and queens. It's your girl, Mell B, live on Lux Radio Network. It's Friday, January 2nd, 2026. We made it, y'all. So yesterday was the first day of 2026, and today we stepping into the spotlight, celebrating creativity, innovation, and the stories that inspire us to dream bigger. The weekend is calling, but first, let's close this week with energy, excellence, and a whole lot of fire. All right, on to our affirmation of the day, and it is, and I read, I step into this year with boldness. My ideas are valuable, my voice is powerful, and my presence makes an impact. January 2nd is when the real work begins. After the celebration, after the fireworks, and after the resolutions. This affirmation empowers us to show up fully. It enforces self-worth, confidence, and the ever understanding that our contributions matter. It's the perfect tone setter for a year of visibility and elevation. So let's get it, y'all. All right, our word of the day is potpourri, which is a noun, and it means it's a potpourri is a mixture of dried flowers and spices used for fragrance or any collection of various things. We used to use the potpourri and put it, boil it on the stove, and the whole house just smells real good. So a fragrant blend of dried flowers and spices and a mix of different elements. As we settle into the new year, think of your life as a potpourri, a collection of experiences, lessons, people, and moments that create a unique scent for your journey. Every piece matters, and today and together, we make something beautiful. All right, our origin word of the day. The phrase is under the weather, which means feeling ill, unwell, or out of sorts. So it's a neutral expression. Sailors who felt sick during rough seas were sent below deck, literally under the weather bow, the side of the ship taking the storm. Over time, it shortened to just under the weather. So today we use it to describe mild sickness, fatigue, or feeling off physically or emotionally. All right, on to our headline news. For New York. New York is entering 2026 with a major round of state laws. Minimum wage rises to $17 per hour in New York City, Long Island, and Westchester. Transit fares and bridge tunnel tolls are increasing. Metro card sales are ending as the system swiftly shifts to OMNY. And an expanded child tax credit plus a new baby benefit cash grant for low-income newborns take effect, alongside new rules on LLC ownership transparency and broader cancer allergy coverage in insurance plans. So New York is doing a lot right now, a lot of good. Their community event today is they have a citywide slate of free and low-cost New Year's Eve's activities underway in the New York City downtown. They have outdoor gatherings, cultural programs, and family-friendly activities across the boroughs. All right, Los Angeles. LA is grappling with infrastructure and cost of living issues going on into 2026. Widespread pothole damages, a wind-driven storm system with flood watches and sinkholes, and state-level consumers changes like, excuse me, state-level consumer changes like a new California law affecting all shoppers in 2026, affecting bags, and packaging or retail practices are all in the mix. There's also a strong local conversation about fraud prevention and homelessness, plus a high federal judge dismissal of an indictment in a high-profile ICE shooting case that's drawing scrutiny. The event there is the 2026 Rose Parade in nearby Pasadena, along with related concerts and viewing events, broadcasts, and all streamed across LA, in a major regional community happening anchored in Southern California culture and tourism. Chicago, education and cost of living are on the front burner. Chicago outlets are focused on what's ahead in 2026 for CPS, as the public school system faces funding, enrollment, and policy challenges, along persistent concerns about healthcare access and affordability as Illinois residents brace for a sharp rise in ACA-linked insurance costs. They still have the community event there. They still have the Zoo of Lights at the Lincoln Park Zoo and the upcoming Chicago Restaurant Week, which is in late January, early February. Atlanta, Georgia is rolling out a slate of new state laws effective yesterday that tough wages, regulations, and public safety. While Atlanta media continues to spotlight illegal dumping crackdowns in DeKalb County and the wider economic traffic impacts of these enforcement pushes across the metro area. In community events, Hot 97 News Atlanta, which is a daily 1-hour hip-hop oriented local news show focused exclusively on Metro Atlanta. They're launching a WHOT TV 66 and streaming platforms in January 2026, positioning themselves as a new cultural and community news hub for the city. Houston begins 2026 amid public safety and housing stability concerns. A newly forced city short-term rental ordinance prompted by the violence. Nationally significant stories like postponed tariffs on furniture and cabinetry until 2027 and the U.S. military strikes tied to narcotics trafficking are also being covered from the Houston angle. In the community, they had major community events gathering, leading directly into early January programming and outreach are being run by the citywide community efforts program. Okay, Washington, D.C. The D.C. region is adjusting to a wave of 2026 laws in D.C., Maryland, and Virginia, taking effect with the new year, including gas bill increases for D.C. residents and other cost of living changes. While debates continue about federal building demolitions, the J.A.B. Hoover building closure, and how emergency demolitions and security policies reshape the city's historic core. In DC, they're promoting early January cultural and health-focused events, including the Kennedy Center Winter Performance Calendar, plus popular community gatherings like the annual Fresh Start K5 that opens the year with a new course. Miami media are highlighting economic and cultural trends, and political coverage continues around Mayor Francis Suarez's legacy and Miami's positioning as a destination for high net worth residents. Excuse me. Tampa is entering 2026 with some strong tourism numbers, but looming challenges, like local business press notes that the region's tourism was robust in 2025, but faces headwinds in 2026. Newport Richey. Good morning, Dad. Local coverage around Newport Richey is emphasizing community support and social services. Pascal County Cold Weather Shelters, Helping Hands Initiative, and a local arts literary program. All right, community there is Stepping Out of Town, Arts and Entertainment. January 2026 highlights a stacked month of local events, including cult classic movie nights and a tribute concert at the Ritchie Suncoast Theater. Milwaukee. Good morning, family. Milwaukee's coverage is centered on economic and civic resilience. Tariffs and failed national policies in 2025 created economic whiplash, but local reports know how businesses are adapting statewide. And the community event here is Milwaukee's Center Winter Festival season is heavy. So we have the Bacon Fest, Mama Try, and about 14 other winter festivals are still on the schedule. All right, Vancouver. Vancouver enters 2026 with debates on cultural vibrancy, to include traffic congestion, concerns about donations fading even as costs rise for survivors of violent attacks, all featured in local media. Events there, the first weekend of January features numerous winter attractions, such as the Festive Village at Burnaby Village Museum, Winter Discovery Days at Fraser River, Fly Over Canada, Soar with Santa, and a Forbidden Forecast experience. Toronto. Ontario is implementing significant 2026 law changes as well. New rules for job postings at companies over 25 employees, increased impaired driving fines, and even vitamin D fortification rules for dairy are all taking effect. All right. And Jamaica, bless up Jamaica. Jamaica's news cycle is still dominated by Hurricane Melissa's aftermath. Mental health advocates warn that psychological toll is only now surfacing. The government has extended duty GTCT relief on hurricane-related donations into mid-2026. All right, their community event, they are having national institutions and churches are coordinating ongoing hurricane relief drives. Montego Bay. Montego Bay is in recovery mode still from post Melissa, with visible progress and gaps. Cleanup operations like Operation Restore are trying to accelerate recovery. Public safety has been markedly transported, according to the Prime Minister, with efforts to tackle organized crime. Okay, social event there. Social Development Commission and local agencies recently held a social services fair at Harmony Beach Park. Ocho Rios. Ocho Rios is central to Jamaica's tourism rebounding. Cruise arrivals have resumed after port closures, with ships like Viking Mars making calls and bringing hundreds of passengers. Negril. Negril has officially reopened business as of December 15, 2025, after intensive post-Melissa recovery, and is being held up as an example of rapid restoration of tourism infrastructure. Negril's winter season is effectively a rolling community event with resorts, beach bars, and local cultural organizations are running festivals like live music nights and fashion creative events. Cayman Islands. Cayman Islands is coming off a politically and economically intense 2025, a big issues year of elections and referenda, plus a 2025 review of headline topics from the cost of living to constitutional questions. All right, and Bahamas. The Bahamas are managing both tourism branding and social indicators. Deaths in the county reportedly fell by about 30% in 2025, according to regional coverage, even as outlet trackers even as outlets track power outages like on Crooked Island and debate over other transparency in government travel. Nigeria. Nigeria starts 2026 in a heated policy and political climate. A major Abuja High Court ruling has cleared the federal government to implement new tax laws, such as the Nigeria Tax Act of 2025 from January 2026. Excuse me. Ghana. Ghanaian news is dominated by economic policy and government debates. The Ghana Revenue Authority is implementing new VAT reforms for January 2026, including challenges including challenges to registration thresholds and reconfigured VAT regime. While media highlight that airtime and data travels will pause for several hours today as MTN prepares for the new VAT tariffs. All right, on to the weather. New York, you will have a high of 36 and a low of 30. Expect a mostly cloudy skies with scattered snow flurries this morning. Los Angeles, bright and sunny conditions with light winds with a high of 86 and a low of 52. Chicago, cloudy and breezy with a high chance of lakefront clouds. Your high will be 30 and your low is 18. Atlanta, sunny and very cold temperatures will remain below seasonal averages with a high of 45 and a low of 32. Houston, clear, sunny skies with a cool northern breeze with a high of 59 and a low of 41. Washington, D.C., partly cloudy and crisp with a high of 41 and a low of 28. Miami, sunny with isolated showers today, high of 75, low of 63. Tampa, mostly sunny with low humidity with a high of 70 and a low of 54. Newport Richey, sunny but cold for the region. If you have a high of 68 and a low of 50. Milwaukee, overcast skies with cold winds blowing from Lake Michigan. We have a high of 28 and a low of 16. Vancouver, light rain showers and overcast conditions today with a high of 45 and a low of 36. Toronto, mostly cloudy with a chance of light snow flurries with a high of 34 and a low of 23. Jamaica, Kingston, abundant sunshine with a high of 86 and a low of 70. Montego Bay, partly cloudy with gentle coastal breezes with a high of 84 and a low of 70. Ocho Rios, passing showers early this morning, clearing with sunny intervals. High of 84 and a low of 70. Negril, sunny and warm, high of 84 and low of 72. Cayman Islands, partly cloudy with a high of 82 and a low of 75. Bahamas, scattered showers with a mix of scattered showers with a mix of sun and clouds throughout the afternoon with a high of 77 and a low of 66. Nigeria, passing showers today with a high of 88 and a low of 71. And Ghana, mostly sunny and hot with a high of 90 and a low of 75. All right, on to our sports. We did not have a Thursday night football last night, unfortunately. However, tomorrow we have the Panthers and the Buccaneers will play at 4:30 p.m. on ABC and ESPN. And also the Seahawks versus the 49ers, 8 p.m. also on ABC and ESPN. All right, our final NBA scores from last night. We have the Rockets over the Nets, 120-96. The Heat over the Pistons, 118-112. The 76ers over the Mavericks, 123-108. The Celtics over the Kings, 120-106. We have the Clippers over the Jazz, 118-101. Tonight in the NBA, we have the Nets versus the Wizards. Will be at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Monumental Sports Network, and Yes Network. All right. And also, we have the Spurs and the Pacers at 7 p.m. on FanDuel. We have the Nuggets and the Cavaliers at 7:30 p.m. on Amazon Prime, FanDuel, and local network. We have the Hawks and the New York Knicks are going to be also at 7:30, and you can watch them on FanDuel. At 8 o'clock, we have the Magic and the Bulls will be on FanDuel and Chicago Sports Network. The Trailblazers and the Pelicans also at 8 p.m. They'll be on your local news sports channels. We have the Hornets and the Bucks will also be on FanDuel, Wisconsin, and Charlotte at 8 p.m. Eastern. At 9 o'clock Eastern, we have the Kings and the Suns will be on NBC Sports California, Arizona Family TV, and Arizona's Family Sports. At 10 p.m., we have the Thunder and the Warriors will be on Amazon Prime and FanDuel, and also NBC Sports Bay Area. And 10:30, we have with the Grizzlies and the Lakers, 10:30 Eastern Standard Time, y'all, on FanDuel and Spectrum Network Sports. All right, on to our daily feature today, where we spotlight the science of creativity and why your best ideas come after a break. So today's feature explores why the beginning of the year is often a burst of creativity, and the science backs it up. Scientists study creativity have found that breaks, rest, and downtime activate the brain's default mode network, the system responsible for imagination, insight, and problem solving. This is why people often get ideas when they're in the shower, or they take a walk, while daydreaming, or after a vacation or holiday. So research from the University of California shows activity increases when the brain shuts out task mode and into open mode, where ideas flow more freely. The start of your year naturally triggers this shift. Routines loosen, stress resets, and the mind becomes more flexible. So creativity isn't forced, it's unlocked. Give yourself permission to think, wander, and imagine today. Your next big idea might already be forming in quiet spaces. All right. Also, we have Feature Friday with Global Flavor. So we spotlight a different dish or tradition or drink from cultures around the world. So today's spotlight is Oshari Rori. It's a Japanese New Year's food, the traditional Japanese New Year's feast that has been celebrated for over thousands of years. Oshishi is more than a meal. It's a beautifully organized collection of symbolic dishes, each one representing a wish for the year ahead. The tradition dates back to the Heian period, when cooking fires were avoided at the start of the year. So families prepared foods in advance that could be enjoyed cold. Over time, these dishes became deeply symbolic and were packed with lacquered boxes called jobako, similar to the stacked bento boxes. So every time Osheshi carries meaning. Even every item in Oshe carries meaning. Excuse me, I'm sorry. Every item in Osheshi carries meaning. Sweet rolled omelet rolls represents knowledge and learning. Black soybeans symbolize health and hard work. Herring roll stands for fertility and family growth. Kelp rose represents joy. Even the colors gold, red, and black are chosen for protection and prosperity. Today remains one of Japan's most cherished New Year traditions. Families gather together around the table, open the jubako, and share a meal that honors ancestors, welcomes good fortune, and sets intentions for the year ahead. It's a reminder that food can both be nourishment and cultural at the same time, carrying history, hope, and heritage into their future. Our second spotlight is jerk chicken or jerk pork. So it takes us to the Caribbean, home of one of the world's most iconic flavor traditions, Jamaican jerk chicken and jerk pork. This dish is a cultural masterpiece with roots stretching back to the Maroons, the formerly enslaved Africans who escaped into Jamaica's mountains in the 1600s. The Maroons blended African cooking techniques with the island's native ingredients, especially allspice berry, known locally as pimento, and the fiery Scotch bonnet pepper. They developed a method of marinating and slow meat cooking over pimento wood, creating the signature jerk flavor: spicy, smoky, sweet, and deeply aromatic. Jerk isn't just a seasoning, it's a preservation technique, a survival story, and a celebration of resistance. The Maroons used this method to cook meat quietly in the mountains without producing visible smoke, protecting their communities from capture. Over time, jerk evolved into a national treasure and global culinary phenomenon. Today, jerk chicken and jerk pork are symbols of Jamaican pride and Caribbean identity. Whether cooked in a steel drum, on the roadside, or in a backyard grill, jerk represents freedom, ingenuity, and the power of culture carried through food. It's more than a meal, it's a legacy seasoned with history, resilience, and flavor that speaks for itself. All right, on to our book club, where we're still reading The Miseducation of the Negro by Carter G. Woodson. Chapter 5, The Failure to Learn to Make a Living. Today's book club segment explores Chapter 5, where Woodson shifts from identity to economics, the connection between miseducation and financial struggle. So the chapter's breakdown, Woodson argues that schools taught Black students everything except how to build wealth, create opportunity, and serve their own communities economically. He explains his miseducation trained people to seek jobs, not create them. It taught theory, not application, and it disconnected education from economic empowerment. During Woodson's time, Black business districts like Greenwood, Bronzeville, and Auburn Avenue were thriving, yet schools rarely taught business ownership or community economics. Today, the wealth gap remains tied to access, opportunity, and the financial literacy. Woodson's message is still relevant. Education must include entrepreneurship, money management, and community investment. So ask yourself, what skill do you wish school had taught you about money and business? All right. On to the cause of the day, which is sarcoma awareness. Sarcoma is a rare cancer that forms in bone or soft tissues like muscle, fat, nerves, or blood vessels. It accounts for only 1% of adult cancers. So these symptoms include painless lump under the skin, bone pain, unexplained fractures, abdominal pain or swelling, and unexplained weight loss. So treatment, there's surgery to remove a tumor, radiation therapy, chemotherapy, targeted therapy, or immunotherapy depending on the subtype. So as far as prevention, there's no guaranteed prevention, but reducing exposure to radiation and certain chemicals may lower the risk. If you need more information on sarcoma disease, you can contact the National Comprehensive Cancer Network under sarcoma guidelines. All right, today in history, in 1492, the fall of Grenada. The last Muslim kingdom in Spain surrendered to Ferdinand and Isabella, ending nearly 800 years of Islamic rule. In 1788, Georgia becomes the fourth U.S. state. Georgia ratified the Constitution, joining the newly forming United States. In 1839, the first photograph of the moon was taken. Louis Daguerre captured the earliest known lunar photograph, advancing astronomy and photography. In 1960, Senator John F. Kennedy announced his presidential run. Kennedy launched the campaign that would make him the 35th president of the United States. And in 1974, Nixon signs the National Maximum Speed Law. A nationwide speed limit of 55 miles per hour was enacted to conserve fuel during the energy crisis. Excuse me. African American history. In 1893, Frederick Douglass speaks at the Haitian Pavilion. Douglass delivered a major address at the World's Columbian Exposition in Chicago, praising Haiti's revolutionary legacy and urging stronger U.S.-Haiti relations. He emphasized Haiti's role in the global Black freedom movements. In 1893, emancipation clubs gather in Virginia. On this day, emancipation clubs in Salem and Roanoke, held ceremonies featuring speeches in civic responsibility and the meaning of freedom for African Americans after the Civil War. 3. Kwanzaa concludes. January 2nd marked the first day after Kwanzaa's 7-day celebration, a period emphasizing unity, self-determination, cooperative economics, and cultural pride across the African diaspora. All right, African American scientists and inventors. First up, we have Katherine Johnson, who was a mathematician. Johnson's orbital mechanics calculations were critical to the NASA's Mercury, Apollo, and Shuttle missions. Her work ensured the success of John Glenn's historic 1962 orbit around the Earth. Next, we have Garrett Morgan. Morgan invented the 3-signal traffic light and the safety hood, an early gas mask used to save workers during the 1916 Cleveland Tunnel disaster. And also, we have Shirley Ann Jackson, a physicist. Dr. Jackson's research at Bell Labs contributed to technology such as touch-tone dialing, caller ID, and fiber optic cables. She later became the first Black woman to earn her PhD from MIT in any field. All right, on to our Back to Roots segment. We spotlight the Asante Sankofa principle, returning to the past to move forward. Sankofa is an Akan principle from the Ashanti people of Ghana. It means go back and fetch it, symbolized by a bird looking backward while moving forward. Sankofa teaches that progress requires remembering, recovering, and reclaiming what was lost or stolen. It's used across the diaspora as a framework for cultural restoration, historical truth-telling, and identity healing. You see Sankofa in African American genealogy work, cultural revival movements, Black study programs, community healing circles, and artistic reclaims of African ancestry. Sankofa is the perfect tradition to open the year. It reminds us that the answers we seek are often in the wisdom of our ancestors, and that moving forward requires looking back with intention. All right, our fun fact of the day. I'm sorry, it's not fun fact of the day. It's Fact or Fiction Friday. So today we spotlight Black conspiracy theories, folklore, and urban legends. First up, we have the soul snatching cameras myth. The claim is early cameras could steal the souls of African Americans. The story: in the late 1800s and early 1900s, some Black communities believed photography could trap or steal a person's spirit. This wasn't superstition. It was a protective response to a world where Black bodies were exploited, displayed, and dehumanized. So, is it fact or fiction? Actually, it's folklore with historical roots. The fear came from white photographers using images of enslaved people for racial science. Lynching photos became sold as postcards, Black bodies being photographed without consent for medical study. This legend reflects a real story of stolen images, stolen dignity, and stolen immunity, not stolen souls. Second up, we have the voodoo death conspiracy. Claim Black people can be killed through curses or hexes from African or Caribbean spirituals. The stories of voodoo death were sometimes where someone dies after believing they've been cursed, appear in African American, Haitian, and Gullah traditions. So is it fact or fiction? It's psychological phenomenon, not superstition, not supernatural. Anthropologists have documented cases where extreme fear triggers heart failure, shock, stress-induced collapse. This isn't magic, it's the power of belief and trauma. It shows how cultural fear, colonial of African religions, and psychological stress can be intertwined. And third, the government weather machine theory. The claim the government controls hurricanes and uses them to target Black communities. The story is after Hurricane Katrina, many Black residents believed the levees were intentionally blown or that storms were being engineered to destroy Black neighborhoods. Is this fact or fiction? They say it's fiction, but understandable distress. There is no scientific evidence of weather control weapons targeting Black communities, but the theory grew from the government's slow response to Katrina, historical environmental racism, real experiments like cloud seeding and military weather research, generational mistrust of federal agencies. Even when the conspiracy isn't true, the conditions create the belief are very real. And I believe those are very real. All right. In our What's the Word, where we are next week on Monday, we will be starting Bible in a Year. So we're preparing ourselves for Monday. So in preparation, today is your final warm up before we launch. And here's how you prepare. Get your Bible or app ready. Set up a journal or note section. Pray for clarity and understanding. Tell a friend to join you. And make sure you clear at least 10 minutes of your calendar daily for the daily reads. So why are we preparing? Because preparation turns reading into revelation. When your heart is ready, the word hits different. All right, on to our tech tip of the day, where we learn to spot phishing scams. Phishing emails and texts are getting more convincing. Fake delivery notices, fake bank alerts, or fake password resets. So before clicking anything, check for misspelled sender addresses, urgent or threatening language, links that look suspicious, or requests for personal information. Most cyber attacks start with someone clicking a fake link. So be aware, that's your best defense. All right, in our finance tip of the day, we're going to start with our money market summary. So it says we are officially back in the booth for the first trading day of 2026, and the bulls are already running. After a volatile end to December, the markets are waking up green. The Dow is up roughly 0.2%. The S&P's 500 is climbing 0.5%, and the tech-heavy NASDAQ is leading the charge, up nearly a fully percentage point in early trading. So why the jump? Investors are breathing a sigh of relief after y'all's president postponed several major tariffs on home goods on New Year's Eve, easing fears of the immediate trade war escalation. So, a little advice. Hopefully, I don't get in trouble for this, but keep your eyes on the tech sector. NVIDIA, which is a world leader in AI computing and graphics, and Alphabet, who services Google services, Google Clouds, etc., are already showing strength as AI remains the primary engine for the market. So keep your eye open on those two, and I'll tell you where you can find them. If everybody got Cash App, go in Cash App. All right, your money tip for the day is check your credit report for free. You're legally entitled to a free credit report every year from each of the major credit bureaus. So reviewing your reports helps you catch errors, identity theft, old accounts, and incorrect balances. So pull one report today and look for anything unfamiliar or inaccurate. So your credit scores affect your ability to get loans, rent apartments, and secure lower interest rates. So keep checking on it accurate. Keep checking on your credit report frequently. So you can there is Equifax, Experian, and TransUnion. They all have websites and they have phone numbers. I mean, I would give all that to you, but then I don't know if you can use it. It's just really easier just to click, on Equifax or look up Equifax, Experian, and TransUnion, and you go on their websites and you have the ability to get your credit report there, or you can call them and do the same. All right, our fun fact of the day is honey never spoils. Archaeologists have found 3,000-year-old jars of honey in ancient Egyptian tombs, and the honey was still perfectly edible. All right, our fun holiday of the day is that it's National Science Fiction Day, a celebration of science fiction literature, film, and imagination, observed on the birthday of author Isaac Asimov. So science fiction has inspired real world inventions. Communicators, Star Trek, influenced early flip phones, and sci-fi concepts have shaped robotics, AI, and space exploration. All right, our quote of the day comes from Frederick Douglass, and I quote, "If there is no struggle, there is no progress," end quote. Frederick Douglass was an abolitionist, author, and one of the most powerful voices in the 19th century. Douglass delivered this line in an 1857 speech addressing the fight against slavery. It remains one of the most quoted lines in African American history, symbolizing resilience and transformation. All right, on to music and entertainment. I spotlighted the first Black recording star. George W. Johnson became the first African American to record commercially in the late 1800s. His songs, including the Laughing Song, sold thousands of copies, a major milestone in an era when Black artists faced extreme barriers. Johnson's success opened the door for future Black recording artists, from blues queens like Bessie Smith to Motown legends and modern superstars. His history marks the beginning of an African American participation in the commercial music industry, a legacy that now dominates global entertainment. All right, on to celebrity gossip. Damson Idris posts one photo and causes chaos. Idris posted one single black and white selfie, and the internet acted like he dropped a full movie trailer. The lighting was dramatic, the jawline was sharp, and the comments were, let's just say, bold. One fan wrote, "Sir, it's 9 a.m. Please relax." Another said, "I rebuke this level of fine." Damson didn't say a word and still said everything. All right, on to celebrity birthdays. Today we have Cuba Gooding Jr. is 58. That's the guy that "Show Me the Money" in Jerry Maguire. Taye Diggs is 55 today. He had movies such as How Stella Got Her Groove Back, The Wood. Oh my goodness, he's been in a lot of things. And then we also have Renee Elise Goldsberry. She's 55 today. She's a Tony-winning powerhouse, best known for originating the role of Angelica in the Broadway smash Hamilton. Happy birthday. All right, on to our lifestyle segment. Our soul food recipe for today is Cajun honey butter salmon bites. Ooh, that sounds good. So the ingredients is salmon chunks, Cajun seasoning, garlic powder, honey, lemon juice, and butter. That sounds so good. All right, our beverage of the day is pineapple ginger refresher. Pineapple juice, fresh ginger, lime, mint, and sparkling water. That's really good. Sounds really good. All right, men. Your health tip for today is do a 5-minute mobility reset. Tight hips and shoulders are the silent productivity killers. So try this. 1 minute of hip curls, 1 minute of shoulder rolls, 1 minute of hamstring stretches, 1 minute of chest opener, and 1 minute of deep breathing. Mobility reduces back pain, improves sleep, and boosts testosterone, supporting circulation. Hint, hint. So get to doing these stretches, y'all. Your fashion tip of the day is upgrade your casual Friday with a textured sweater. A ribbed or cable knit sweater instantly elevates jeans or chinos. Women's health and beauty tip of the day is add a hyaluronic, hopefully I'm saying that right, boost to your morning routine. Winter air steals moisture fast. Try hyaluronic acid serum to dampen skin before you moisturize. What it does is that it plumps up your skin, gives you smoother makeup application, and all-day hydration. Women, your fashion tip today is statement earrings, instant upgrade. When you do not have time for a full glam moment, bold earrings carry the whole look, like gold hoops, geometric shapes, or pearl clusters. All right, our household cleaning chore of the day is a 10-minute entryway reset. Your entryway sets the tone for your whole home. So shake out mats, wipe doors, door handles, organize shoes, sweep the area, and add a fresh scent like citrus. And relationships, couples, check in, don't check out. When tension rises, it's easy to shut down or go silent. So today, practice a 30-second emotional check-in instead. It keeps connection alive, prevents assumptions, and builds emotional safety, a foundation for intimacy. Friendships, honor the unspoken labor. Every friendship has someone who plans, someone who listens, and someone who checks in first. Today, acknowledge the friend who quietly holds things together. Try this. Hey, I see how much you do for us. I appreciate you. Why it works? Recognition deepens loyalty and keeps friendship balanced instead of one-sided. Family, lead with curiosity, not correction. Instead of jumping in with advice or critique, ask a serious question first. What made you choose that? Or how can I support you? Curiosity lowers defensiveness and opens the door to healthier, more respectful conversations, especially across generations. All right, on to our horoscopes, where we start with Aries always. Aries, today pushes you to finally start something you've been putting off. Once you move, the momentum carries you. Your lucky numbers today are 3, 12, and 28, and your word of the day is initiate. Taurus, your patience pays off. Your patience pays off. A slow-moving situation finally shifts in your favor, so stay grounded. Your lucky numbers today are 6, 14, and 22, and your word of the day is steadfast. Gemini, your words hit your words hit with clarity today. Use your voice to open doors, not stir confusion. Your lucky numbers today are 5, 18, and 33. Your word, articulate. Cancer, protect your peace. Someone may lean on you emotionally, but boundaries keep you balanced. Your lucky numbers today are 2, 9, and 26, and your word is preserve. Leo, your creativity is glowing. A new idea could turn into something major if you nurture it. Hint, hint. Lucky numbers today are 1, 19, and 34. Your word today is radiate. Virgo, small adjustments bring big clarity. Clean up your space or your schedule and watch your focus sharpen. Your lucky numbers are 4, 12, and 28. Your word, refine. Libra, relationships take center stage. A meaningful conversation brings balance or closure, whichever you need most. So your lucky numbers today are 7, 15, and 30. And your word, harmonize. Scorpio, your intention is razor sharp. Trust the quiet signals. They're pointing you toward truth. Your lucky numbers are 8, 21, and 29. Your word, discern. Sagittarius, adventure calls, even in small ways. Try something new to spark your motivation for the year ahead. Lucky numbers are 10, 23, and 31. Your word, explore. Capricorn, your discipline shines. A financial or career decision becomes clear, giving you confidence to move forward. Your lucky numbers are 13, 24, and 35. Your word, strategize. Aquarius, your ideas feel ahead of their time. Share them with someone who can help bring them to life. Your lucky numbers are 9, 17, and 32. Your word, innovate. And Pisces, your empathy is your superpower today. A small act of kindness creates a ripple effect so you don't even see it. Your lucky numbers today are 6, 20, and 33. And your word is compassion. All right, at this time, I would like to send a shout out and thank you to our sponsors. Shout out to Bello Burn Hot Sauce. Turn up the flavor, feel the burn. Bello Burn brings heat to every bite. RAS Herbals, rooted in tradition, powered by nature. RAS Herbals keeps wellness pure and strong. And Colorane Candles, light the movement, lift the mood. Colorane glows with soul. Universal Madness, style without limits. Universal Madness makes your streets your one way. Make the streets your one way. All right, in our announcements today, first up on Monday, January 5th, 2026, at 7 p.m. Eastern Time, our very own Cookie, CEO of J.A.B Entertainment and Lux Radio, will conduct a webinar called The Business of Music. This webinar is for all people who are interested in learning the music business. The webinar does have a small fee, so if you are interested in attending, please sign up on our website at luxradio.com. Tonight we have Live and Learn with Gemini Goddess, is returning tonight with the ladies of Pathway to Promise at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, live on Lux Radio Network on all platforms except TT. We also have the Peace Podcast with Tay and Jay. Good morning, Tay. At 9:30 p.m. tonight, live on Lux Radio Network on all platforms. Saturday, we have Snatched and Savage at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time with Omni, Mimi, and Unknown Mike. Hopefully his mic is working this week on Lux Radio Network as well. So that's how we close out the first week of the year. You showed up, you rest up, you reset, and you set the tone for what's ahead. So take this weekend to refill your cup, laugh loud, love intentionally, and the rest on purpose. We'll step into next week refreshed and ready for a new 2026. So until Monday morning, everybody, have a blessed weekend. Stay safe. Tell the person closest to you and family members how much you care about them. And I also want to thank all of my listeners that have listened to me for the past 4 months. This has been a great 4 months, and I hope that I can still bring a great show that you love to listen to in 2026. If you have any suggestions on topics or anything, please just let me know. I'm at Mell B on all platforms. So let me know if there's a topic you'd like to hear. So this is your girl Mell B saying, stay looking fly, stay grounded in your truth, And don't let nobody, I mean nobody, tilt your crown. Until Monday, see you. Period.